You're live.
Welcome to Eden Prairie High School for the home opener of the 2015 football season for the Eden Prairie Eagles. Winners last week in their season opener against the state runner-up Totino Grace Eagles. It was a close game in a lightning and weather-filled first half, but the Eagles pulled away with 24 unanswered points in the third into the fourth quarter and won 38-20. Edina, meanwhile, started off this season in much better position than they did a year ago, coming away with a victory against Andover by a score of 28-15. J.J. Stewart had 130 yards rushing, and it was Brock Boltman's show as well. We'll see plenty of him as a runner and passer. Contributed a touchdown through the air and one on the ground, 130 yards as well. This is a first look at the Eden Prairie offense as they'll be playing from left to right here at Prairie Stadium, where they've won every single game since they last lost, which, coincidentally enough, again happened here. It's also been 31 games ago, back in 2012. Four-time defending state title champions have gone undefeated in 2013, 2014, and to start this season as well. Under center, Jackson Zaw gives the handoff to Devon Bryant. He scoots outside, and he'll be horse collar tackled, losing his helmet down at the 24-yard line. The starting lineup for the Eagles: Jackson Zog in at quarterback. He was 3 for 3 last week, throwing for a touchdown and 113 yards, the majority of it coming on a 79-yard touchdown pass to start the second half that got the Eagles rolling as they again scored those 24 unanswered points. Devon Bryant, TJ Conrad, Alec Hetherington in the backfield, Kyle Connolly the wide receiver, and Clayton Witherspoon the tight end. Matt Osanasic is the center. Jake Beaver and Michael Swanson sandwich him at guard. Swanson a returning starter on the offensive line. Jacob Miller and Tristan Shaughnessy. Shaughnessy is expected to do good things at the tackle position. Had a very strong 2-week training camp. And the Eagles are called for an offensive penalty, moving them back to the 18-yard line, where it'll be third down and about 12.
Yeah, kind of unusual to see a penalty on the first drive for Eden Prairie. Yeah, that's the way the game will start off for them.
Last week, Alec Hetherington, their fullback, scored 2 touchdowns. The running game really didn't get going at all, and if you looked at their offensive numbers, other than that 79-yard touchdown pass, as we get another flag. Delay a game against the Eagles, so backing them up even further. But their offensive totals, again, minus that Kyle Conley 79-yard touchdown catch, they combined as a team for just under 200 yards. It was, the mistakes that they forced on first year and first game starter Kyle Halverson, the quarterback for Totino Grace, forcing 3 turnovers, turning 14 of those, or scoring 14 points off the turnovers and turning one of those turnovers directly into 7. And that's how they kind of won. Here's a wide open receiver. It's Connolly again, bursting down the right side, looking back. No one's going to get him. Finds the end zone. Eagles touchdown.
That was a great play right there. They faked the bubble pass, and everybody on the defense bid on that, even on 3rd and long, and then they caught him napping and hit him right over the top for the touchdown. That was a really well-executed play.
So Kyle Connolly appears to be the big playmaker for the Eagles this season. 2 catches now for 2 touchdowns this season of more than 75 yards. This one goes for about 87, if I remember correctly where they were on the field. The extra point try by Montero is up and good. And the Eagles, just like that, are on the scoreboard 7-0 over the Edina Hornets.
Dudes, Been a couple of A-plus roommates. And I hate to do this because you guys have been cool with everything. You're cool with my band. You're cool with that English accent phase. Remember that?
We're literally out of milk.
And that theater troupe.
Hey, down up. Hey, could you give me a second, please?
But State Farm's helped me be really smart with my money, and I got my own pet now. Oh, no big deal. Mom, Dad, my new place doesn't allow pets. Dylan's gonna have to stay here. One love, Pops.
Start out right in life. With everything from renter's insurance to your first bank account, State Farm is there.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie. A local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com.
Welcome back to Aries Stadium in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Kevin Ford, Grant Norland, Brett Johnson with your call here tonight of District football, District West football. Kind of weird to say, isn't it? Not Lake Conference football anymore in this matchup between former Lake Conference rivals Edina and Eden Prairie. The Eagles, winners of 4 consecutive state titles, want to continue this dynasty, and the Edina Hornets, after a little bit of a rough season last year, finishing 2-7, bring back a lot of promising talent and hope to compete here tonight against the team that's considered best in the state. Line drive kick to one of the up-back blockers, able to catch that one. So that was booted right into his lower half.
I think that was unintentional, but it worked out well for Edina there. They get the ball at great field position on their own 45.
Yeah, I think he'll take that every time. We saw that a couple times last year where Eden Prairie would purposely kick it to the up man. In fact, they recovered 1 or 2 onside kicks, if I remember correctly.
Seeing this Edina spread them out offense for the first time. Quarterbacked by Brock Boltman. Hands it off to the left side. That's going to J.J. Stewart. 130 yards rushing last week. And 2 fumbles. Did not lose either fumble, fortunately for Edina, as they again beat Andover in that crossover district game 28-15. Second down and 7 after the gain of 3. Boltman will keep it himself, reading off the left edge. I got a good block and picks up an Edina first down. Nice block there by his teammate, number 22, wide receiver Parker Rickert, to spring him for an extra 7 or so yards.
That was a nice block and a nice run by Boltman. I talked to some football coaches up at NDSU. They said Brock was up there at their camp this summer, and they were really impressed with his performance. And coming in here as a junior, this is a big stage for him to really have an opportunity to showcase what he's got here against the top team in the state.
Boltman got some action last year as quarterback and runner. Also plays defensive back for the Hornets. On the run, takes a big hit between a sandwich of tacklers.
That one will wake you up.
Yeah. Tacklers Carter Coughlin, as well as number 31, Dan Anderson.
Sometimes that's just what a guy needs to get into the game, though. You're a little tentative until you get that first big hit, and then it's kind of like, okay, here we go, and you're ready. That really gets you into the game a little more, so we'll see what happens.
3 wide receivers set off to Boltman's right. Handoff goes to Stewart. Able to make one man miss, and then brought down by Rick Fung and number 28, Mark Aressman.
If you'd like to email us here throughout the broadcast, we're announcers at psbmn.com, announcers at psbmn.com. Also click that link below your game tracker screen, or of course tweet your viewing party photos to us. Got some Twitter photos from last week we'll try to share on the broadcast here as it goes on a little later on.
Under center is Boltman. Man in motion. Sets free Stewart. He tries to plow through the fullback block applied. Tripped up and tackled at the 32. It'll be short of the first down.
Well, pretty easy decision here. Got to go for it unless you have an amazing field goal kicker.
It's kind of an interesting call there. A team that likes to spread it out and stack you up right in the middle on 3rd and 4 and try to just go toe-to-toe with that Eden Prairie defense. It's kind of an interesting call in that situation.
Again, same formation. Boltman rolls out this time. Gets a block from Foley, his tight end, has the first down and run out of bounds by J.D. Spielman. Takes a big spill on the track. Able to walk up. No effects from that fall onto this hard track surface over on the far side. And a nice job there getting out in space. And again, nice block by tight end Foley to get his quarterback to move the chains. A gain of 8 on that rush by Boltman. 3 carries already for 22 yards. Had 132 last week on just 11 totes. About 4.5 minutes gone by in the first quarter. 7-0, Eden Prairie on top. The handoff goes across the line to Evan Holm, an outstanding defensive back for these Hornets. Also plays some tailback as well, and doesn't gain much that time. Edina will take on Maple Grove next week. Eden Prairie travels on the road to Hopkins. Game we'll have coverage of here on PSB. Boltman hands it off. Stewart's way, swallowed up by the defensive line of the Eagles. Jermaine Johnson getting his first start of the season, replacing Devon Green in the starting lineup, makes the stop.
Yeah, Reed Boltman, I should say, has not thrown a pass yet, so it might be a situation where we see him put the ball in the air for the first time tonight.
Yep, 4 wide receivers set. Boltman drops back under duress, rolls out to the right, throws off his back foot as his man, and the catch is made inside the 10-yard line.
Wow, that was a great throw as he was falling down right there. Put it in only in the place where the receiver could catch it, and that was just a great play right there by Boltman.
Max Tomes makes the catch. A big gainer there, and shows the arm strength of Boltman, who's also a baseball player for the varsity squad, plays outfield for the Edina Hornets. Sets up 1st and goal from the 8 on the move, taken down from behind. Johnson with a nice move around the edge to catch up with the quarterback.
It might be a long night if they keep trying to run him that much. That's that can wear on you as a quarterback to take that many hits and have to run that many plays. So we'll see if they keep that up here.
Quick swing out to this far sideline. Goes for maybe 3 yards. Catch was made by Parker Rickard, who applied a good block on Edina's first down of this offensive series. Their first of the night. Eden Prairie scoring after back-to-back false start penalties and a delay of game set them up 3rd and long inside their 15. Play action call Zog to Connolly for 87 yards is the lone score of this game. As you can see, the Hornets, though, are threatening. 3rd and goal from the 5. The handoff to Stewart on the delay, and he'll pick up 1.5. Eden Prairie has been stout in the middle so far in this one.
4th and goal. What do you do here, guys? You haven't had a ton of success running it, at least on the latter part of this drive.
Oh, they're going to kick it.
Well, Edina last year had a Division I caliber kicker. He graduated.
Oh, maybe not.
But this year, not quite as talented in that department, and figure inside the 5-yard line. Coach Boltman wants to go for it. See what he draws up. He fakes the handoff, and Boltman is dropped. Jermaine Johnson has been in his back pocket all game long. Excellent job and nice decision by Mike Grant to give him the start tonight.
That was an interesting play call right there in that situation. You know, stacking up at 4 yards out of the end zone. You got to think they're not going to run it in that situation, given the success they've had in that position before. And so I don't know if I like that play call very much. I would have stayed in the spread and shotgun and tried to go for something on the perimeter on that one.
It didn't help, too, that he came through that line unblocked, as I could see on the replay here. We'll hopefully have the replay up to you guys on the roof, but, yeah, no one really touched him on the way in. Didn't really give the quarterback, Boltman, much of a chance.
We'll call you, instead of a color commentator, we'll just call you the replay specialist.
The replay specialist. All right, we can go with that.
Zog under center. He exchanged a few series last week with backup quarterback Jackson Randall. But Zog was the only one who attempted a pass, going 3 for 3. The handoff on this first play. The Eagles' second drive goes to Bryant for no gain.
Well, Edina's defense did a really nice job on that first series, except for that touchdown play. So we'll see if they can hold him here again.
Mentioned the starting lineup of the Eagles on offense. We'll get to the starters for the Edina Eagles momentarily. Spielman tries to go east-west, and he's buried by a pack of Hornets.
A swarm of Hornets, as someone might say as well. Or
Well, you just said that, so.
Either way, that's a big loss.
A loss of 6 for Spielman. And last week, I understand the conditions were slippery. Lots of rain coming down at Totino Grace High School, but I don't recall the last couple of years, as he was an offensive weapon for these Eagles, him really ever losing any yardage on a play, and he's now lost big yardage on 4 plays this season. Going deep, overshoots Kyle Connolly by a long shot. Kyle Zog showing his arm strength, but maybe not the timing there, as the Eagles are forced 3 and out.
Well, here's a stat for you now. That is the first incomplete pass that Zog has thrown this season.
Wow. You know, it's interesting you say that about JD. He you know, sometimes you get that with a guy. You know, I remember that with Barry Sanders sometimes. He always thought he could break the big one, and so sometimes he'd take some chances where he'd be going backwards to try to find a gap, and sometimes that doesn't work out for you, but you got to think sometimes he's going to break a big one too.
Punting from his own end zone, the ever-versatile Spielman kicks it out to his own 42. It's caught and returned for a short gain to the Eagles' 38. So I didn't quite get to the Edina defense, but let's talk about their offense. Izzy Stewart and Parker Rickard on the outside are their starters. Tommy Doyle, a tight end. He's an outstanding defensive lineman. We'll talk more about him when he's back out on the defensive side. Quinn Carroll anchors the right side of the line. Ethan Motla is over at right guard. Brady Bass at center. Dan James left guard. Bennett Helgren at left tackle. And Stewart, Evan Holm, and Brock Boltman. Stewart again the tailback, Holm the fullback, as the Edina Hornets are pushed back 5 yards for a false start. Defensively for the Eagles, you got Connor Novak-Gore. He was a beast last week, took the Skittles and went beast mode. And an interception, a forced fumble, and scored an offensive touchdown, his first touchdown in his career, he said. That was on a fumble by his teammate Conrad that he recovered in the end zone. Ended up with an outstanding individual effort. He pairs up with Dylan Warner on the inside of the Eagles line. Quinn Coughlin and Jermaine Johnson getting the starts on the outside. Carter Coughlin, Nolan Sullivan, and Mark Arestman are the linebackers. Rickard carries the ball and gets near the first down marker.
That was a great very well executed play by the Edina line there. They did a great job of sealing that right side and creating a huge hole off the right edge there. You know, this is something we haven't seen very much. We've played almost the entire first quarter in Eden Prairie's half of the field.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often.
You're right. Boltman hands it off. Rickard again, able to move a couple of would-be tacklers toward the end zone down at the 25-yard line. And the rest of the starters for the Eagles in their secondary, J.D. Spielman, Cal Lundy, Ben Price, and Rick Funk.
You right, Kevin? Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Oh, I thought I had my mic off. Sorry.
Tackled to the outside. A flag flies as he runs to the near side corner. That one was The hit was applied by number 47, Nolan Sullivan. Let's see what the flag is. And thought it would be a hold. It is. So the ball trotted back 10 yards on the Hornets. Back to the 33-yard line. It'll be first down and looks like about 18. Boltman, shotgun formation, has Stewart alongside him. Split out to the near side is number 15. And they go up the middle to Stewart. Slaps the turf, thought he could get more, but taken down by Connor Novak Gore after just a pickup of 1.
Hey guys, just heard from Brian, our sideline reporter. Unfortunately, not able to get our sideline miking working in this game, I should say. But said listening on the Eden Prairie sideline, even though they've had a little trouble here in the first quarter, still all positive thoughts from that team, saying, "Hey, we got to get going, guys."
Almost intercepted through the hands of J.D. Spielman. A dart thrown by Boltman, but right at the defensive player.
Now that was a dangerous pass there. He threw that into some heavy traffic.
I certainly don't want to make dangerous throws like that against Eden Prairie. You guys said it, Edina has won the field possession battle in the game so far, but they still trail 7-0 and have not been able to cash in yet.
Third down and 17. Boltman looking down the field, fires across the middle, broken up by Cal Lundy. Double coverage, and Cal Lundy stepped up beautifully and broke up the pass play.
That was another dangerous throw there. I'm not sure if he saw that backside safety, Lundy there. He made a great break on that ball to break that play up, but I think Boltman just held on to that just a little too long. Here they're going to go for it on 4th and long.
They're kind of in no man's land where you're almost forced to do that.
Oh, quick kick.
Directionally, it goes out of bounds and nets, 8 yards out of bounds at the 25.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Might as well have gone for it at that point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's probably better than I would have punted. I'm not sure how your punting game is upstairs, guys.
Better than that.
If you can go more than 8 yards?
Yes.
With pressure, too?
I'm not sure about that.
With the wind at the back, you got to think go a little farther.
Yeah.
I'm also not asked to be a punter ever, so it doesn't really matter what I could do. Devon Bryant to the outside, can't break the tackle. Great pursuit by the Edina Hornets as a whole. Michael Horns makes the stop, and Bryant looks injured on the play.
Well, that was a great open field tackle by Horns on the edge there.
Yeah, this
took a good angle on him, strung him out right on the line of scrimmage, and brought him down. We just got to hope he's not hurt.
Bryant is injured on the play. We'll take a break in the action. We're watching PSB Media's coverage of high school football. It's Eden Prairie 7, Edina 0.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSB is here to help. PSB offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSB stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at psbmn.com to get started today.
What?
Well, we're back here at Aerie Stadium in Eden Prairie. As you see, Devon Bryant getting helped off the field here for Eden Prairie after looked like the trainers were looking at his knee. We'll see if our sideline Brian sideline guy Brian could maybe get a report on what happened to Devon Bryan down there. But so far, he's at least somewhat walking on his own power down there.
Yeah, not sure. It looked like a lower body injury, but again, shouldn't speculate too much. So he's helped off the fields. It's a nice tackle by the defensive player for Edina. Just unfortunate that it caused some injury. Back to live action. Jackson Randall in the game. Throws his first pass attempt of the season. It's complete to the near side to Alec Hetherington, the fullback, dropping into open space. And he moves the chains with a nice 11-yard gain.
A nice rollout there as he forced the Edina defender to commit to him, which left Hetherington open for to receive that pass, pick up a first down. Eden Prairie's never known for their passing games, but they always seem to have very high completion percentages no matter who their quarterback is.
Well, it's carried their offense so far tonight, and you could argue last week as well. Hetherington, his first carry of the game, goes out to the 40, a pickup of 4.
Hey guys, have a report from Brian, who's just texting us updates now. We'll hopefully have him on air next week, but he kind of confirmed what we were looking at. They are working on the left knee of Bryant down on the sideline.
Last couple of years, Eden Prairie has had a starting running back hurt the knee and miss a portion of the season. A couple of years ago, it was outstanding lacrosse player who's now at Holy Cross playing D1 college lacrosse. I just said that a lot, but he hurt his knee a couple of years ago, came back in time for the playoffs, and last year was Omar Bilal. Hurt his knee, and that allowed Alec Hetherington to get some more work into the offense as a junior and now a senior. He's one of the featured backs. It's the end of the first quarter with the score remaining. Eden Prairie 7, Edina nothing. We'll come back for the start of the second right after this.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. This season, the Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSB broadcasts of Eden Prairie football and hockey on their big screen TVs. So make it a night out. Get some great food while watching your Eden Prairie Eagles at the Tavern on 4 and 5. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
Welcome back to Erie Stadium in Eden Prairie, Minnesota. Feel free to email us. We'll respond to your emails, read them out loud. Let us know where you're listening from and who you're cheering for. This is PSB Media's coverage of Eden Prairie football. Hetherington with the carry. Very near the chains, and we'll set up a third down and 1.
We have a couple messages we can get to in just a second after this play, guys.
Through center. Randall. Handoff goes to Conrad. And he does, or rather Hetherington, and he does give the Eagles a first down.
Yeah, here's a message from Kelly saying, thanks Mike Grant for the great program, and she says, thank you for the stream, guys. Also have a message from a familiar face, at least to us, Kevin. Pete Wagner tuning into the game saying, great barcast, guys.
A barcast, huh?
Broadcast, I can't talk.
Well, Tavern on 4 and 5, that's where you can watch our barcast.
Yeah.
In a bar. Hands off to J.D. Spielman. And he'll be wrestled out of bounds at the 45. Good burst initially, but again, we're seeing a little bit of that east-west running initially.
To defend myself, my headset was kind of partially on and off, so I was kind of talking and not hearing myself in the headset.
Got it.
Who knows, maybe Pete is having a barcast watching the game.
He's having a jolly good time, or whatever that phrase would be based on how you talk now.
Yes.
Second down and 5. Nice strong running by Hetherington to the 35. Moves the chains for the Eagles. Lowers that shoulder and blasts through a couple of linebackers.
That was a great hard run by Hetherington there. He just ran right through those first 2 tackles. This guy just fell right off him. That's That's exactly what you want in a power fullback right there.
Well, they released the Madden ratings for Madden 16 the other day, and I think his breaking tackle rating would be pretty high on that run there.
How about trucking? That's got to be even higher.
I don't know if that's a Madden rating.
I think it is. Randall, the pitch out to Spielman. The cutback, spins upfield, still on his feet, and picks up 12 yards.
Wow, he did a great job of getting skinny through there. There's some really small gaps to squeeze through right there, and he found them and squirted right through. It was really nice running by him.
It helps that he's about 5'8" and 170 pounds. Right?
That does help.
Yeah, versus Hetherington trying to do it.
Yeah.
You weren't commenting. I needed some clarification. I needed a yes man. Alec Hetherington, thank you. Inside the red zone now. At the 20-yard line, a pickup of 4. Hetherington not featured in the first 2 offensive series. Now getting heavily involved. And he's been very effective. Part of the reason why they're sustaining this drive. Went 3 and out last time. Seemingly headed in that direction on their first series as well. Before a breakdown in coverage by the Hornets allowed Kyle Connolly on a play action to score from 87 yards out. Spielman finds some daylight and is inside the 10-yard line, plus a flag tacked on. Could be in the way of a face mask.
That was a really nice block there by Michael Swanson, number 65 on that play. I don't know if you have the replay down there, Brett, but he really drove his man off the ball on that play. That was a great play by him.
Yeah, very good block there by Swanson. Certainly helped spark that run.
Swanson started now a couple seasons on the line. Several veterans returning to this squad. Return a little bit more, I think, on the defensive side than offensive side. Minus a couple skill positions in the way of Hetherington and Spielman. And again, that will be a face mask. So half the distance now. Eden Prairie with the football inside Edina's 5. About 9 minutes left in this first half. A low-scoring affair so far. Hetherington hopes to change that as he wiggles by the initial push, but falls forward Jerome Bettis style. Takes the initial hit and just goes down.
I have another email in the inbox. This one's from William saying, thanks so much for the broadcast efforts. They enable him to watch his grandson, Nolan Sullivan, also a very good hockey player for Eden Prairie. And also, Pete Wagner did confirm he is having a bar cast of the game, Kevin.
Nice. A new word tonight. Hopefully Miriam adds it next year. Hetherington blasts through one, still fighting to the end zone. No signal yet.
He was awfully close
just
there.
Shy.
He was smelling it on that one. He was really fighting to get across that goal line, just couldn't quite do it.
So
Seems like... Go ahead.
I didn't have anything useful to say. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it seems like Eden Prairie always has that power fullback there that just lines up 3 yards deep in the backfield and is just coming downhill every play. That just wears a defense down when they're just falling forward for 3 and 4 yards every play. It just becomes a war of attrition. It's kind of slow going sometimes, but it just wears a defense down.
Part of the reason why maybe Eden Prairie is always so much more successful in second halves is Hetherington finally scores.
Yeah, you guys stole the words right out of my mouth. I was going to comment the same thing. Every year they have a fullback that just never goes down on first contact, and it's almost automatic when you get a goal situation with 1 yard to go that Eden Prairie will probably score.
No, you weren't.
He literally just repeated the same words you said.
Yes.
That's what happens on calls during work as well.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. That was such a good thought. I was just thinking the same thing. Oh, really? Why didn't you speak up sooner?
Well, we can talk about our teamwork and synergy and corporate integration.
Hetherington's third touchdown of the season.
All you're supposed to say
extra point try makes it 14-0.
Great minds think alike, right, Brett?
There you go.
There you go.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You're watching PSB High School Football.
And we're joined by Rob Friend at the Mulch Store. Rob, a lot of people are finishing up those fall projects, whether it's trimming trees or getting rid of all those leaves. What can people do with those materials once they're done?
Well, they can bring their yard waste into any of our locations and dispose of it for a small fee. And after it's disposed of, we then process it and turn it into compost.
It's also a very easy, straightforward process to stop in at any of those Mulch Store locations, correct?
You just pull into any of the sites, you check in with the gate attendant and pay your small fee, and you're all set to go.
And if people would like more information about the great products and services the Mulch Store offers, what's your website?
mulchstoremn.com.
Alec Hetherington makes it 14-0 Eden Prairie in their home opener. Kicking off the 2015 season, playing 3 games before Labor Day weekend, are the Eagles, as everybody had to start football early here in Minnesota due to some scheduling conflicts at TCF Bank Stadium. And of course, we can all thank the Vikings for getting a new stadium and changing this schedule. So we ultimately know who's to blame for high school football starting in mid-August.
Hey, I have a few messages, guys. Pete says, great coverage, go Hornets. So we have an Edina fan tuning in. Also a message from Alice saying, listening and watching EP play from Buffalo Center, Iowa. Thanks for the broadcast. Brad, is that near your area down in Iowa?
A good Iowan.
Yeah.
No, that is not near where I'm from.
And you know that area?
I don't, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. They'll have to email me and remind me where Buffalo Center is. I couldn't find it in my head on a map. But
in your Grant maps?
yeah, I know the Iowa map fairly well, but I just can't recall where that's at for sure.
3 wide receivers near side, one split out to the far. Boltman looking left, has his man and just drops it. It's like Max Tomes went right off his hands. He did make a nice catch to get Edina inside Eden Prairie's 10 a couple series ago, but couldn't come up with a play this time. 1 for 4 on the night now for Boltman. Last week, 8 for 17 for 55 yards. 2nd down and 10. A handoff up the middle. Great pursuit by Johnson. And Carter Coughlin shot the A-gap and made the stop in the backfield. Forward progress back to the line.
Well, this is a situation in the game where Edina is really in danger of getting themselves in trouble here with a 3rd and long deep in their own territory. They're already down 14-0. They got to make something happen here to move the ball.
Looking down the field on the run, throws it. Nice adjustment catch made by the receiver, Tomes. But stopped just shy of the 1st down marker. And looks like a new quarterback in the game for Edina. That's Will Hoff, number 2.
Well, guys, Eden Prairie can feel the momentum down there, as Brian texted me saying, heard quarterback Jackson Randall say 7 more minutes from another score. Come on, guys, we got 1 more before the half. So Brian saying the EP guys down on the sideline certainly very pumped up.
And they'll punt it away. Line drive punt. No one in coverage. Gets a favorable Hornets bounce. Inside the 25, it'll be down by Boltman. So taking that series off, trying to get the offense jump-started. Reed Boltman benches Brock and puts in Will Hoff.
He wasn't benched, actually. He was playing receiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was switched out to the near side, huh?
Yeah.
Trying to show off his skill sets in a different way.
Well, the quick kick much better executed that time.
Yeah.
That actually was very effective. That was a, what was that, a 48-yard punt?
Well, it's better than 5.
Something like that.
Well, the other one, to be fair, he was trying to directionally kick it because they had such a short field.
True.
Here he's got the whole field to work with. Hetherington bottled up.
Going back to our comment about tough fullbacks for Eden Prairie, even there, it took about 3 guys to finally bring down Hetherington.
Yeah, it looked like somebody missed a block up front there. There's a lot of defenders on him right at the line of scrimmage there.
Yeah, the right side of the line there kind of had some trouble there as he switched sides, and they weren't quite able to finish off their blocks.
Well, Edina also has some very good defensive tackles and ends. Tommy Doyle going to University of Miami, Ohio.
Look out.
As J.D. Spielman into the open fields. One man to beat. Can't cut the angle off, and Spielman is gone. Home run ball for J.D. Spielman. There is a flag back near the first down chain at the 32-yard line.
And there was that big play we were talking about, but I think that one's coming back. That looked like a hold or a block in the back, and it is a block in the back on Eden Prairie, so that's going to come all the way back.
Well, besides that, though, there were some nice blocks, as you guys unfortunately can't see on the replay, but Alec Hetherington absolutely mauled the defender he was trying to block. It was a legal block, so I don't think they got him, but yeah, it will be a block on the back on EP.
J.D. Spielman, short-lived celebration, and it won't count. A nice effort by him, showing off his blazing fast speed. Even the guy with the angle couldn't catch up to him, and that's also a Division I caliber defensive back in Evan Holm.
It's always a little bit deflating when you break off a big play like that, only to have it come back, especially that far. Now you're behind the original line of scrimmage after you run a 70-yard touchdown. That's tough, but knowing Eden Prairie, they'll probably just do it again.
Second down and long. Randall still in at quarterback. The handoff as he's buried.
Wow.
By the beast in the middle. TJ Conrad met.
That was a big hit. 98.
Stephen Apsland.
6'5", 305. That's a big man in the middle there, and he hit him with all 305 on that play.
That's not a roadblock you want to run into.
No, that was just a simple physics problem right there.
Objects in motion tend to stay in motion until they get mauled by a 305-pound guy.
Right.
Austin Powers, get in my belly, that kind of thing.
Mass times acceleration. It's that equation. And he had the mass on his side on that one.
Hetherington tries to cut it back, tripped up on a nice tackle. And sets up fourth down and long. Spielman out to punt.
By the way, I have an answer for where Buffalo Center is to Quiz Grant's Iowa Trivia. It's about 9 miles south of the Minnesota-Iowa border.
Okay.
Do we know if that's central?
Did
east
not
or
say.
West? Okay. Line drive punt to the right side, fielded on one hop. Makes a cut back, does Rickard, and then he's pushed out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Solid field position to start for the Hornets offense, which has been scoreless through the first quarter and 2/3.
I think it's really critical if they want to stay in this game that they get a score on this drive right here. And at least go into halftime only down a touchdown. That'll give them a chance in the second half. If they're down 14-0, I really don't see them coming back in the second half. That's a tall order against this team.
I got to get back to some of the things they were doing, too, on their first couple drives where they were moving the ball really nicely, but part of it, too, is that Eden Prairie's defense has been playing better.
Stewart gets about 4 yards before first contact, and he's dropped immediately. Nice wrestle down by Coughlin. It looked like number 51 of the Eagles as well. Maybe not. Probably misread that number. So we'll just give credit to Coughlin on that stop. Second down and 6. Quick swing pass to the near side. Gets a block, but a flag flies as well. Tom's trying to spring the tailback loose in the near side. Probably going to be penalized for it. A.J. Nelson was the target on that catch.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at PSBMN for the latest on the Southwest Metro schools we cover, mainly Eden Prairie, but also some Jefferson, Kennedy, and Chanhassen as well.
What's your assessment of that replay, Brett? Was there a hold by 88, the wide receiver?
Yeah, it's kind of tough to say on the replay. I suppose you could probably give it to him, but
to my eye, it looked like a clean block, but
yeah,
Spielman
it was a tough call.
Credit.
Yeah, I think so. That was kind of the LeBron call right there, maybe.
Yeah. It's good sportsmanship by Tomes, though, who, after he committed the penalty, tapped Spielman on the back. So I didn't mean to do any harm. Second down and 20 from the 35. 5 wide receivers set. Empty backfields. Boltman. Changing up the play at the line. Looking left, now rolls right.
Oh.
Overshoots his intended target. He had a man in the flat underneath the defensive back, Cal Lundy, but overshot his intended target, number 36 for the Hornets, Jack Sorensen.
Big hole right down the middle seam of the field right there, too, and they just couldn't quite exploit that on that play. Let's see if they go back there here, if they saw that. And now that safety's going to shift over.
1 for 5 passing. Boltman, 3rd down and 20, breaks a tackle. Throwing on the move, up for grabs. It goes incomplete. Cal Lundy on the pass defend of a pass intended for Parker Rickert.
Well, you were saying, Grant, that Edina probably needed a score to stay in this game. I think they'd still be all right down 14-0, but they just cannot allow Eden Prairie to get any more points here once they get the ball back.
Yeah, Edina will start with the football to begin the second half. So, to your point, Brett, I agree. As long as it's just
stranger things have happened.
Yeah, this is a very important punt, though. They can't afford to have another short punt and give Eden Prairie good field position with 3:20 to left. Well, we do have a second half. Another text from our sideline guy, Brian, catching a little inside info on the Eden Prairie coaches talking to the offense, saying most of the focus was on the O-line, talking about finishing their blocks, driving defenders back, and staying inside their blocks. And I think everyone up here would certainly agree their O-line's done a nice job here on these last few drives for the EP offense.
Thanks for the report, Brian.
Yeah. Of course, with the exception of the block in the back on the long Spielman run. But
right.
That could certainly loom large, though, if Edina gets back into this game. You feel like if that Spielman touchdown at Towna, that pretty much might be curtains for Edina.
Fourth down and 20, the scenario for the Hornets. Spielman very close to the line, the normal return man. Will now begin his trot back to receive this punt. Scored a touchdown on a punt return in each of the last 2 seasons. Had 2, in fact, last year. Will pick this one up at the 24-yard line and get hit immediately. Seemed like he thought about just letting that ball be downed at first and then changed his mind.
Yeah, he hesitated there a little bit. It was kind of a funny hop on that first bounce, and he's kind of one of those in-between ones. That guy kind of held off and gave him an opportunity to pick it up, and why not? You got to take a chance at it, right?
Well, if you're Spielman, of course.
Absolutely. You know, Eden Prairie's smelling the blood in the water right here. If they can get a score here before half, that's going to put Edina in a really tough spot.
Zog back in. The handoff. Spielman hurdles over one tackler and stiff arms another as he picks up a first down and more to the EP 45.
Oh, that was a great run by Spielman, showing off some agility, hurdling that guy, and then the power to finish that run strong, running right through that Edina defender.
After starting off with a carry of a loss of 6 yards, Spielman has now rallied and has picked up gains of 11, 11, and 20 on his last 3. Of course, he had that touchdown called back as well. That doesn't count. Fumbled snap, and Zog will eat it in the backfield.
I've seen quite a few of those center quarterback exchange errors in the first 2 games this year. I wasn't here last week, but I saw the replay of the game, and I think there was at least 2 drop snaps last week, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was one on an attempted exchange, and then Zog, I think, I don't know quite what he was trying to do. It's like he was almost Statue of Liberty playing it. Put it behind his back and ended up trying to bring it forward again and lost the grip.
I did see that. That's where he tends to fake it every time, and that can be kind of a dangerous place to hold the football.
Spielman getting great blocks. Number 60 out there, paving the way for Spielman to cross midfield. Excellent job by Tommy De Cesare.
Gosh, the line blocks are just great on these last couple drives for Eden Prairie. Spielman also with a good burst of speed, but this offense running the ball is really in a nice rhythm.
Moving the chains into Edina territory with about 2 minutes left in the first half. Handoff on a trip as he tried to squeeze through a space was Hunter Obert. 2 rushes for 9 yards, last week.
Mike Wagner sent us a message saying thanks for the broadcast. Also another one from Art also tuning in. They're watching from Tomahawk, Wisconsin.
Thanks for watching. Zog looking deep down the middle as Connolly over the shoulder makes the catch inside the 5. Great concentration by Connolly. Pretty good coverage. But of course, over the top, Zog had all that real estate, just lofted it up, and Connolly comes down with it.
Oh, it's a great catch and great adjustment by Kyle Connolly there. He's really establishing himself as a nice receiver for this team. It's really good to have that deep threat to complement the run game.
I think we can see why he's starting at receiver and not quarterback when he's in the mix.
And Coughlin scores his first offensive touchdown. The D1 bound linebacker in on the carry and scores it from 5 yards out.
They ran a little reverse on that play. It seemed like it was not quite timed correctly, but they still had enough of a hole there to get him into the end zone pretty easily.
Yeah, it was awkwardly timed, but again, great blocks by everyone on that line as well as some of their outside guys. The offense is completely in rhythm right now.
Randall holds for Montero. The kick is up and good. 21-0. Eden Prairie with the advantage. Edina didn't want to allow that score, but the Eagles said, we'll do things the way we want. On their home field, season opener on top of Edina, 21-0 on PSB.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Timmy. I hope you're hungry.
Sure am, but I prefer broccoli to mushrooms.
Well, I prefer your brother to you.
Don't mess with Grandma's dishes. Mess with ours instead. Delicious dishes from around the globe that you're free to customize. Noodles & Company, your world kitchen.
Thanks for watching PSB Media, live local play-by-play coverage of Eden Prairie Athletics. Got coverage of a volleyball match later on this fall, some soccer as well, as here predominantly football. Covering hockey in the wintertime, some wrestling as well. So follow us all season long for Eden Prairie Athletics. For those watching that are Edina Hornets fans, appreciate you joining in. We'll have several of your games just by nature of who the competition is as well. Directional kickoff just ekes its way into the end zone. Very close to being illegal. But it'll be a touchback, and Edina, with about 70 seconds left, have to march the length of the field if they want to try to put some points on the board against an improving week-by-week Eden Prairie defense. Other than that first quarter and the final play of the game last week, this defense has been pretty stifling to the opposition, especially in the run game. You knew coming in they had a very good defensive front four, and we've seen that here tonight. Quick hitter to the near side is caught by number 23 of Edina. That's Jack Foley. And the catch goes for 5 yards. This one, Toms drops it again. Second drop of the game. Does have a catch as well.
You got to catch those in a game like this. That's kind of the way you've got to attack this defense, is take those quick hitters. This is a stout defense, but they have their holes, and if you can find those and exploit them, eventually I think they start getting a little greedy trying to defend those, and that's when you can try to take them a little deeper.
Yeah, there Brock Boltman showing off the arm strength to get the ball to the outside, but maybe he wants to put a little bit more touch on it next time. Way oversailed his intended target, Parker Rickard. And maybe a little bit of frustration setting in for the Hornets. Still fairly early for that, but some of the body language seems on the down as opposed to still up.
Yeah, I think those drops really hurt your momentum as well and can certainly lead to some lost confidence.
The punt high and backward spiraling, bounces straight up and rolls essentially on midfield. So just a 25-yard punt this time for Will Hoff. Had a better one of 48 yards, I believe, last time. And the Eagles might even have an opportunity to add another 7 to the scoreboard here.
I was just going to say that, Kevin.
With Kyle Connolly, they could score from about anywhere.
That's true.
He has been one heck of a player here for these first 2 games. Be one great weapon later on.
1st and 10. The handoff goes to Spielman. Meets a wall of Hornets and is dragged out of bounds after a loss of 1. Good pursuit as a whole unit by the Hornets. The tackle finished off by Nolan Lavore. So that ends a string of 4 consecutive runs by Spielman of at least 10 yards. Clock was stopped on the play and tackle out of bounds. 30 seconds to play with. 2 timeouts for Eden Prairie should Mike Grant want to be aggressive. Team at midfield. This game brought to you by Tavern on 4 and 5. Go there for a post-game party, or you can't for whatever reason attend some other games and want to watch instead of being at home or wherever you may be viewing this. You can also view it at the Tavern on 4 and 5. Got this game streaming live on one of their televisions. Another reason to check them out. Zog across the middle to Spielman. Can't break the tackle. Great stop by number 8 of the Edina Hornets to drag down the shifty Spielman. Credit goes to Nick Bloom, the sophomore linebacker.
Eden Prairie's looking to go for the jugular here. They're calling timeout with 3rd and short here, 22 seconds. They're thinking they're going to take a couple shots here, I think, and try to put this one out of reach before halftime.
A couple years ago, remember that Wyzetta Eden Prairie game that was super hyped, and I think it was 28-0 after 1 quarter, something like that.
It might have been higher. I was thinking it might have been 35 or 42.
It was. You're right, Brett. It was 35-0 in the first quarter, and then 1 minute into the second quarter, it was 42-0.
Well, if you remember, it was just Murphy's Law for Wyzetta, where I think on the opening kickoff, they fielded it and accidentally stepped out of bounds on the 1-yard line and then fumbled on their first play.
Yep. I remember that vividly because they were hyping that game up like it was going to be just this clash of the Titans, and it was, I think everybody's jaw was just on the floor at the beginning of the second quarter, like, what happened?
Well, the reason I brought that up is because there was a real strong wind in one direction that was at the back of Ryan Connolly, then the quarterback, and Grant called an extra timeout with like 2 seconds left and just heaved a ball. A no-name wide receiver caught the football and scored from 67 yards out, and on that play, it just speaks to Grant trying to take advantage of every single second and every single scenario against a team. What a master coach he is, but also that there was 3 guys open on that touchdown score as well.
I still remember that.
Yeah, they had like 11 guys in the box, didn't they?
That was just totally blown defense, but yeah, I mean.
So trying to relate it here, I mean, that's probably what, Coach Grant's trying to draw up here.
Yeah.
We'll see if Edina falls for it. Add a second back to the clock. Was at 21, now back up to 22.
Well, they've at least got a couple of safeties back there deep that are going to...
3rd down and 8. Connolly, the lone receiver. They fake the reverse. Spielman stiff arms one, but he'll be dragged down by that same defensive player. Another nice tackle by Nolan Lavore. He's tracked down Spielman twice on this series.
Well, let's see. 4th and 7. You maybe call a timeout and let Zog heave one up into the air.
That's what they're going to do.
Yep.
Well, he's got the arm strength.
And you have a receiver who can certainly haul down those tough passes. I would think, guys, you're going to see at least 2 or 3 guys on Connolly on this pass. Although
I would
Spielman,
hope so.
Yeah, I was going to say Spielman could be dangerous too, because you think he'll be running down there towards the end zone as well. Also just got a report here that Devon Bryant was just carted off the field with that left brace on, so certainly not looking good for him. We wish him a very speedy recovery.
Yeah, you never like to see that, a kid going off with a knee injury that not always, but a lot of times amounts to a whole season of recovery if you end up damaging one of those knee ligaments.
4th down and 7 from the 47-yard line. Zog winds up and delivers way over the head of his intended target, Connolly. That's how the half ends. Solid performance by the 4-time state champion Eden Prairie Eagles. They take a 21-0 advantage on the visiting Hornets into the break. You're watching PSB Media.
If you're enjoying tonight's football game from the comfort of your own home, why not go out next week and get some great food and also watch Eden Prairie football? The Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSB's broadcasts of Eden Prairie football on the big screen, so check it out. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5.
Woohoo! This is the best dirt bath ever!
Larry, what's with all that racket?
I'm loving my new digs. This compost is amazing. Come on in, give it a try.
What are you talking about? Oh, yeah, you weren't kidding, Larry. This stuff is great.
The Mulch Store has compost your garden, and yes, even the worms will love. Stop by any of the Mulch Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee to pick up the best compost in the Midwest. Online at mulchstoremn.com. Also shop rocks, seed, soil, edging, and more. Now's the time to make your neighbors green with envy.
Store locations in Burnsville, Minnetrista, Rosemount, and Shakopee.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSB is here to help. PSB offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSB stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at psbmn.com to get started today.
There comes a time when even an all-star sister can use some assistance himself.
Do I need to be worried about identity theft? Everybody does. So that's when somebody tries to use my name? Uh-huh. My likeness? Yes, sir. Like if they try to look like me, but with a fake mustache? Yep. And glasses? Yes, exactly. I think I'm gonna need some help with that.
When assisting is in your blood, you know it.
Dudes, yeah? Been a couple of A-plus roommates. And I hate to do this because you guys have been cool with everything. You're cool with my band. You're cool with that English accent phase, remember that?
We're literally out of milk.
And that theater troupe.
Hey, down up. Hey, could you give me a second, please?
But State Farm's helped me be really smart with my money, and I got my own pet now. Oh, no big deal. Mom, Dad, my new place doesn't allow pets. Dylan's gonna have to stay here. One love, Pops.
Start out right in life. With everything from renter's insurance to your first bank account, State Farm is there.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbier's State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbier.com.
During this break in the action, I'd like to thank you for watching and ask for your assistance. In addition to live streaming games like this one, PSB Media also produces video commercials for clients. If someone you know is trying to grow their business, tell them to consider contacting production at psbmn.com. Contacting production at psbmn.com. The internet is a powerful marketing tool, but due to its size, it can be difficult for messages to reach the right ears. Optimize their valuable time and money. PSB Video will help drive localized traffic to the client's website. Using keyword-driven content, PSB Video can improve where businesses appear in search results. Nearer to the top results means more clicks and more business. So please, tell those business owners you know to work smarter, not harder, by considering PSB Production. Find out more by emailing production at psbmn.com.
Great food and great sports. It's the Tavern on 4 and 5 in Eden Prairie. This season, the Tavern on 4 and 5 will be showing PSB broadcasts of Eden Prairie football and hockey on their big screen TVs. So make it a night out. Get some great food while watching your Eden Prairie Eagles at the Tavern on 4 and 5. Some of their classics include the Mediterranean Pizza, Tavern Turkey Burger, as well as delicious breakfasts that are served 7 days a week. That's the Tavern on 4 and 5, just blocks from Eden Prairie High School.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
I really loved this book. Me too. What was your favorite part? The beginning?
The beginning was good.
Did anyone actually read the book?
I really like this wine.
You don't need a book club to drink wine with friends. Great wine and globally inspired food at Noodles & Company, your world kitchen.
Hi, Grandma.
Hi, Timmy. I hope you're hungry.
Sure am, but I prefer broccoli to mushrooms.
Well, I prefer your brother to you.
Don't mess with Grandma's dishes. Mess with ours instead. Delicious dishes from around the globe that you're free to customize. Noodles & Company, your world kitchen.
Correct, I have a life mate. Is that consequential?
With whom are you communicating?
Jake from Planet State Farm.
Jake from Planet State Farm at 0300 hours. State your identity.
It is Jake from Planet State Farm, home of Discount Double Check.
Describe your apparel, Jake from Planet State Farm.
Khakis.
Khakis. Explain.
A dull earthly garment covering male extremities.
Sounds most appropriate.
Save mass quantities, even at 0300 hours. Get to a better state.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com. We're speaking with Rob Friend at the mulch store. Rob, once people have finished up trimming those trees or raking those leaves, how easy is it for them to stop in at the mulch store to drop off those materials? Or maybe even pick up some mulch for next year?
Well, if you want to stop in and drop off, you come in, check in at the gate attendant, and they'll point you in the right direction after you pay a small fee. And if you're ready to pick up something to do a final garden or mulch project, pick out the product you want, pay for the fee, and we'll load up a trailer or a pickup truck if you have that. If not, we do have delivery available.
And of course, you guys have locations all over the metro area.
That's right. For locations and more information on delivery, you can check us out at our website, mulchstoremn.com.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSB is here to help. PSB offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSB stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at psbmn.com to get started today.
I really loved this book. Me too. What was your favorite part? The beginning?
The beginning was good.
Did anyone actually read the book?
I really like this wine.
You don't need a book club to drink wine with friends. Great wine and globally inspired food at Noodles & Company, your world kitchen.
The Sun Current is proud to be your community news leader for over 50 years. Each week you can read their in-depth coverage on local government, school district news, high school sports matchups, community events, and newsmakers. The Sun Current's website is now mobile user-friendly and provides breaking local news coverage daily. Check it out at current.mnsun.com.
If you're enjoying tonight's football game from the comfort of your own home, why not?
And welcome back here to Aries Stadium in Eden Prairie. We're at halftime here between Edina and the Eden Prairie Eagles. We're now actually going to watch and listen in to the marching band here at EPHS with the halftime show.
Each year, we give $50 to $100,000 to student activities. Funds are distributed from 2028. As there's activity passes save fans money and give fans no way to count. Sponsors provide financial support and are totally honored with the community spirit. Be a part of this. We believe that student participation
You're watching high school football here on PSB, Eden Prairie versus Edina. We're going to go ahead and take another timeout, have the second half kickoff on the way next.
Correct, I have a life mate. Is that consequential?
With whom are you communicating?
Jake from Planet State Farm.
Jake from Planet State Farm at 0300 hours. State your identity.
It is Jake from Planet State Farm, home of Discount Double Check.
Describe your apparel, Jake from Planet State Farm.
Khakis.
Khakis. Explain.
A dull earthly garment covering male extremities.
Sounds most appropriate.
Save mass quantities, even at 0300 hours. Get to a better state.
Shop and save with Brandy Warmbeer State Farm Insurance Office in Eden Prairie, a local connection at a lower cost. BrandyWarmbeer.com. We're speaking with Rob Friend at the mulch store. Rob, once people have finished up trimming those trees or raking those leaves, how easy is it for them to stop in at the mulch store to drop off those materials? Or maybe even pick up some mulch for next year?
Well, if you want to stop in and drop off, you come in, check in at the gate attendant, and they'll point you in the right direction after you pay a small fee. And if you're ready to pick up something to do a final garden or mulch project, pick out the product you want, pay for the fee, and we'll load up a trailer or a pickup truck if you have that. If not, we do have delivery available.
And of course, you guys have locations all over the metro area.
That's right. For locations and more information on delivery, you can check us out at our website, mulchstoremn.com.
Stream your games in HD like the pros. Have a game you want streamed? PSB is here to help. PSB offers its HD streaming services to meet your request, whether you want one game, a tournament, or even an entire season's worth of games live streamed. Every broadcast features professional play-by-play announcers, instant replay, on-screen graphics, multiple camera angles, and much more. Plus, you can even make money from broadcasting. By having PSB stream your games, you create an opportunity to bring in additional revenue to your team or booster club. You can make money from pay-per-view broadcasts, DVD and digital download sales of the broadcasts, and even control of the advertising space on the broadcasts. So what are you waiting for? Get your team on air and stream in HD like the pros. Contact production at psbmn.com to get started today.
I really loved this book. Me too. What was your favorite part? The beginning?
Thank you for watching PSB Media. Kevin Ford, Grant Norland, and Brett Johnson with your coverage tonight of Eden Prairie High School football. They're taking on the Edina Hornets and lead at the break 21-0. If you're just joining us, you missed out on a well-played first half by the Eden Prairie Eagles and an awesome halftime performance show as well, which we live streamed, so you can always go back and catch the archive of that. Eden Prairie does such an outstanding job in the performing arts, obviously athletics as we're seeing here tonight and over the course of many a season, but performing arts among the best in the state as well. And on display out in front of us, the dance team had a good performance number, and then the marching band combining with some theatrics in a themed song and dance as well. First half scoring by the Eagles, all of it coming from Eden Prairie. Alec Hetherington, a 1-yard touchdown. Carter Coughlin scored from 4 yards out. Those were the 2 latest touchdowns. And early on in the game, the first offensive series of the game for either side. After 3 consecutive penalties, pushed the Eagles back inside their 15 when play action got the secondary to bite up by the Hornets, and Kyle Connolly with an over-the-shoulder catch was off to the races and scored from 87 yards out. Entering the game, he had one of the few touchdowns last week, now up to 2 touchdown catches and already over 200 yards receiving on just 4 catches so far this season. He was in the running to be a starting quarterback just a couple weeks ago, moved to wide receiver, and how about the transition and impact he's made at the position?
I think he's found quite a home there. He's doing a nice job, and I think maybe some of that quarterback background helps him with, seeing the field and finding some of the open spaces, and kind of knowing what the quarterback's thinking from his perspective can sometimes help you as a receiver too, in terms of timing and just finding open spots on the field. So obviously that's a really nice move for him and a big boost for this offense.
And what a weapon that'll be for them when they maybe run into some closer games down the stretch. That sometimes has been a bit of an Achilles heel against Eden Prairie when they run into closer games, is that they haven't been able to pass the ball, but they've shown some explosiveness in the passing game through these first 2 matchups.
And now on the other side of the field, the far side, coached by Reed Boltman. Team coming in with high hopes and expectations. It would be competitive, still an opportunity with 24 minutes with which to work to make this a competitive game. They'll start with the football. But last week, so much success in the running game against Andover. Obviously a lesser team than Eden Prairie. No one's going to question that, but able to put up 400-plus rushing yards. This coming a season after they had 700 combined rushing yards for 9 games. They put up 401 this year. Look to make big improvements in that department. Have the athlete in Boltman at quarterback, and yet unable to get really anything going against Eden Prairie. Can talk more about that once this offensive series sets up. Kickoff, touchback by Antonio Montero will give Edina a football at their own 20, where it'll be 1st and 10. So, Grant, Brett, do you have any recommendations here, being kind of the coach talk here from the broadcast booth, of what Edina can do to try to, get back into this game and get in a rhythm again?
I think the biggest thing they got to do is score more points than Eden Prairie. That's got to be their goal at this point.
And how do you do that?
Well, I think, like I said before, that was a joke.
Yeah.
I think, like I said before, what you got to do against this team, if you're Edina, is try to spread them out a little bit, find some of those softer spots on the perimeter, and just take what they give you. There's always some little open spots in the flat out there. If they can just take advantage of that, kind of slowly chunk them down the field 5, 6, 7 yards at a time, that's what they need to do to sustain a few drives. And the run game just really isn't going anywhere for them right now. So they've got to do something to try to exploit some of those. If you would say there's a soft spot on that defense, there some of those spots where they can take advantage of some of those things that they give up. So we'll see if they do that.
3rd down and 6 under duress. Boltman will take a hit and go down. A sack for the Eagles defense.
And that wasn't it.
Devon Young came up big last week, recovered a fumble, also had a sack, picks up his 2nd of the season on a big 3rd down stop for the home team.